A very warm good morning to one and all present here. Today, I, Priyanka Sharma, your host for the event, welcomes you all to this talk session of Vimrishyotsava, loaded with knowledge and stuffed with experience. Vimrishyotsava 2.0, an erotic festival of discussion, is the second season of Vimrishyotsava, where our club Anuvrat gets an opportunity to manage an informative talk session with the passed out and brightened mind of our college who are excelling in their lives right now. And today, we are honored to have with us Ms. Puja Pal as our guest speaker. She completed her high schooling from Local Girls Senior Secondary School and then did her intermediate from Namdi Senior Secondary School in the year 2012. She completed her BTech from National Institute of Technology Sikkim in the year 2016. Because of which, we are honored to have her as our alumni today. She gained experience by working as an intern in BSNL during her course, after which she joined as data engineer and software engineer in companies like Shell and Virtusa. She has also participated in events like Microsoft Power BI Tech Wars and has achieved great heights in her life, which include professional Scrum Product Owner, professional Scrum Master, Business Analyst Toolkit Advice in Shell, participant in IIBA 2019 BA conference held at WTC, and she is also a VPCIO award winner in Shell for 2020. She is an active volunteer in National Service Scheme since 2012 and also in IIBA since 2019. I am sure hearing all this is making you all curious and excited to meet her. So, what are we waiting for? Let's welcome her. On behalf of everyone, I would welcome you, ma'am. The platform is all yours.
Yeah. So first of all, good morning to you all. Can somebody confirm if my voice is like audible and it's not breaking in any way before I can start the session?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you clearly.
Okay, fine. Yeah. First of all, thank you for inviting me to this session. I'm really overwhelmed and I'm happy to connect with the juniors of my college. And secondly, I would like to appreciate each one of you. And this is a very great initiative that you people have started, where we, as the alumni of NIT Sikkim, we get to interact with you all, and similarly, you people also get to interact with the seniors and get to know their experiences. I wish we also had this when we were in college, but nevertheless, a really great initiative, and it's really commendable. Moving towards my experiences, so let me share my screen. Most of the thing you have already covered about me, but still I like to take the screen there. Can you see it? Is my screen visible? Can somebody confirm? Priyanka?
No, ma'am, it is not.
Ma'am, it's not visible
Okay,
yet.
give me a second. Mm, yeah, now it should be.
Yes, ma'am, now we can see your screen.
Okay, I'll maybe start the slideshow. It will be clear to you. Yeah, so this is something that already Priyanka has covered, but still a few more things maybe. So yeah, I have completed my BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering from NIT Sikkim. As she already said, I am a 2012 to 2016 batch. But if you see my work experience, it is mostly in the IT industry. So I started as a software developer in Virtusa, where I worked in technologies like Java, SQL, NoSQL, and all. And post that, I joined Shell as a data visualization engineer. And recently, in last 1.5 years, I have moved to a business analyst role in Shell for a data analytics platform. So you will be seeing a variation from what I have done in college and what I'm doing currently, but it is again what you are up to and what interest you're attracted to more. So that's what you take it as your career. As everyone says, right, you should do what you like, and you should always work in that domain that interests you. So that's what I have chosen to. Um, Now let me go away from myself and talk about the topic that I want to lead today. So I have chosen the topic of design thinking led business analysis and data visualization. So I would be talking about what is design thinking and how it can affect the field of business analysis and data visualization in a positive way, in a more better way, and how it can make those two fields more efficient. But before that, I would like to discuss more on what is business analysis, because before understanding how design thinking impact those fields, if many people might not be aware on this particular field. So first I'll cover the field of business analysis, what all are covered under this. Then I'll be covering what is data visualization, and then I'll be talking about what is design thinking, and then we can relate how design thinking is related to business analysis and data visualization. So we will go step by step, and please feel free to ask questions in between also, or you can keep your questions for the last for the Q&A session. And anytime you feel that my voice is not audible or it's breaking, please to stop me and let me know. Otherwise, it will be like I'll keep on talking and nobody will be able to hear, right? So yeah. Okay, let me start with it. So what is business analysis? If you see, this is a practice of enabling change in an organization by identifying what are the needs of organization, what is the business needs, what are the business problems. You identify those problems and then you determine solutions for those problems. So that is the field that business analysis deals with. So these solutions can be anything. So your organization can have any problem, or even your end users can have a particular problem or a need, and you're trying to satisfy it. You are trying to build something to satisfy their needs, right? So business analysis takes the work from there. So they will research on what is needed, what is the requirement, what is the change needed, and then they will take it forward from there. A business analyst will talk to the end users or stakeholders that please tell me what are your pain points, what is the extra feature that you need in a particular component that you are using, and a particular software that you are using, right? After getting all those requirements, they will define it, and they will discuss it. A business analyst will analyze the whole business scenario. They will analyze the different type of solutions that can be provided to the user, and then after they do it, they discuss it with the end user. They come to an agreement that okay, so you have this problem or this is need, we can resolve that, or we can give you a better service by providing this app or this feature in our app. And once the end user agrees to it, we go back to the IT team. When I say IT team, it would be mostly the software developers, like many of us. And we tell them that, see, our business needs these components to be developed. So then your IT developers, they talk to the architects, they choose which technology to use, which one would be the more feasible one, and they start coding, and then they build a product, right? That product, then we as a business analyst, we take it to the stakeholders or the end users, and tell them that, see, this is what we have built. And once we show it to them, they will provide the feedback, and then using those feedbacks again, we as a business analyst, we come back, we again process those feedbacks, we see what are the feedbacks that we can choose from, or what is the actual need, what is the main pain point from those feedbacks. And then again, we keep the same whole process that I just now explained. So it will be an organic process currently. So that is what business analysis is about. And yeah, So this is the field that I'm currently working in. Do you people have any questions on this section before I move to the next one? Okay, I'll move to the next. Maybe people can keep your questions till the end. Second is on the data visualization part. This is also something that I have worked on as I joined Shell. So as you know, this currently in the world, everyone talks about data. Data. What is data? It is an information, right? And what is data visualization? If you see data in the form of Excel or in the form of normal SQL tables, you can't infer anything from them. You don't produce a value from them. Just seeing the numbers, you can't understand, right? So if you see, data visualization brings data to life. And you as a data visualization engineer, what we do, we try to story tell a data and create very interactive insights through those numbers and then convert it into visuals. So if you can see in the screen that I'm currently showing, so it is a few of the dashboards that has been created using Power BI or Tableau kind of tools. So here what has been done is a simple number that we get from an organization, very raw information that we get. As a data visualization engineer, we model the data, we create relationships between each and every data points, and post that we create visuals like the ones that you can see here. Now, why do we do this? As a human mind, our mind is more attracted and it understands visuals much faster than that of from just a number or a text, right? So that is what was, as per the research, they have concluded that why not show a number in the form of visual so that it can be easily readable by human mind. And also seeing the visuals, we can have a kind of pattern in our mind. So if you see these kind of line charts, right, this type of graphs, we can easily understand that whether the trend is coming down or it's going up, right? So that kind of thing is very impactful in our mind. Even nowadays, you have seen the stock markets. Many people might be investing. Maybe many of you might be investing. I'm not sure, but there also you can see that an organization or a company, I must say, for example, if you take the example of Cipla company, which makes medicine. Now, when you open any app, if you open Zerodha app or a Grow app, from which you can put your money into the stocks, you can see for each company what is the trend going on since the last few months or the last years, like whether it's coming down or up, or what is the trend. So that is one impactful example of data visualization. If somebody gives you a data set of Excel or SQL tables in the form of rows and columns, you might feel it boring, or you might not be able to get it through because there will be a lot of numbers and you will be puzzled, right? But the same thing, when it is converted into a visual, it is much more impactful and much more readable to human mind. So yeah, data visualization is that field where we convert normal data into very attractive visuals and readable visuals. And we as a data visualization engineer, we help to convert those raw data into interactive visuals. Okay. So one more thing, I was discussing about business analysis. I was discussing about data visualization. Are these two connected? These two are also connected. So this term business analysis is different across different organizations. In some organization, when people say that, okay, I'm working as a business analyst, they might be doing only the functional part or the process oriented part, that get the requirement from the end user, define it properly, document it properly, and then try to have a brainstorming on the solution part. You agree on the solution part with your end user, and then you go back to your developers telling that, okay, develop this, and then come back with the developed product and show it to stakeholders or your end users. But again, as I said, it is different across different organization. If I tell you in Shell, business analysis or business analyst is not only about functional thing. You have to be technically sound. So I'm a business analyst in data and analytics platform. And my project, my team works on a fully Microsoft Azure stack. So before I take the requirement, before I discuss the solutions with them, I need to know that what is feasible with the Microsoft Azure stack and what is not. What can we do with it, right? And this for data visualization, also we use one of the Microsoft stack called as Microsoft Power BI. Though there are different tools also like Spotfire and Tableau in the market, but at currently in Shell we are using Microsoft platform. So I need to understand how to create, or I need to know how to create a visual from the data, because being a business analysis, I'm also expected that I should know how to analyze the data. Of course, anyone should know what your data is coming. If you don't understand the data, if you are not able to provide insights, we will not be able to give the proper solution to the business, right? Just having the functional knowledge is not enough to provide a proper solution to the business users who want a proper solution in terms of business or in terms of your organizational strategy. So that's why this business analysis and data visualization is related. So as a BA, we do the functional or process oriented part, we do the strategic planning and all. But apart from that, I also use Power BI to create data visuals. So using Power BI, we get different type of data from different type of sources. Your sources can be Microsoft Azure SQL, it can be normal CSV or Excel file, all the flat files. Using that, we also create this visuals and then show it to the stakeholder. So these two are interconnected depending on which organization you are in. But a BA or a business analyst is expected to know at least the data visualization tools or data analysis tools. At least we should know SQL and all. So why I'm sharing this is there might be many of you, right, who doesn't like coding, just like me. So I had started as a software developer, but I didn't enjoy coding much. But I thought that what I can do better is maybe I was more better into the process alignment and more better in the organizational, organizing things and all these things I was very good at. So I thought that why not switch into this process oriented part where I can help the organization to, suggest optimal solutions to reach their goals every year. So even if I want to open one path for you all, or maybe I want to suggest one thing, that okay, some people might have taken ECE, some people might have taken triple E or CSE, whatever it is, but you are not bound to just one field, or you are not bound to just sit and do the chip coding, right? Many of you might not like that, and it's totally okay. That's what I want to tell you. It's totally okay if you are not more inclined towards that. If you think that you can do more into a process oriented or into a management side, still there is a path for you. So just keep on honing your skills. Sometime it will be of use to you. Maybe you might join IT industry as a developer later on, but IT industry gives a lot of opportunity for you to switch roles as per your interest, as per your skill set. Just one thing you need to keep in mind is you need to be consistent, and you need to continuously upskill yourself. So when we joined Virtusa, right, we joined as a developer, but for me to switch to something, apart, different from the development role, I had to upskill myself. I went to a lot of trainings. I did a lot of certifications. I shadowed many of my mentors, so that I could understand what this work is about, to understand, okay, whether I am fit for this work or not. So there has to be something that has to be done if you want to get into a field which is different from what you have done in your BTech or even in your first or second year of your job. So yeah, that is completely fine. Anybody wants to move out from the current code thing and want to do something else, the path is still open. So depending on your interest, you people can choose anything that you want. Okay, maybe I diverted a bit, but yes. So BA and data visualization are connected. Now, let me go to design thinking prospect. Firstly, I think many of you know what is design thinking, or if you don't know, you might have heard, or if you have not heard yet. So I'll tell you what design thinking is. Design thinking is a process or a concept actually, which comes to life only when you start using it in your day-to-day work or life. So design thinking is a user-centric approach to solve any issue that has come on your way, whether it's in your daily life, whether it's in your IT world, whether it's with your software development, whether it's with your chip programming or anything. In any phase of your work, you can apply design thinking. Now, design thinking is what is how design thinking is performed, or what exactly it is, or what are the processes that you have to follow as part of design thinking, and what are the benefits that you are going to get. So I'll get into that one by one. Firstly, there are 5 steps into design thinking. So as you can see in my screen, you have empathize, you have define, ideate, prototype, and test. Now, what is I'll tell you what exactly each of these words mean, and then I'll come to a real-time example so that you can understand how design thinking can make our lives better. First point is empathize, which means whenever we are doing any work, so we need to empathize, that we need to understand what is the problem of the people and what are we trying to solve, right? Second is on define. So you need to define. Now, after you have talked to people, you understood that what are the pain points, what are the issues, what are their needs. You need to define, and you need to clearly put out points that, okay, these are the pain points, these are the problems, the current real day problem. And then you go to ideate phase. When you go to ideate phase, since you now have the list of the problems and the actual real-time problems that the people are facing, you can generate ideas that how those problems can be resolved. And once you ideate it, if once you get all the ideas, once you have all sort of solutioning ideas, then you prototype. When I say prototype, it's a kind of MVP product. So what is MVP? MVP is a minimum viable product. It is not the final product. After you get to know the problems and you have ideas, you can always prototype and create a kind of test copy. Or if in terms of application, if I call you, you will create an app, but it will be a prototype of the app. It is not exactly the app that you are pushing, but it is the prototype. You will create an test app, and then after that prototype is created, that experimental thing is created, then you test it. What do you mean by you test it? So you push it to the market. You push it to the market and take the feedbacks from the users, real-time feedback from the users on that minimum viable product. Because once you take the feedback, then again, this cycle will continue. So see, these are all interconnected, because here we are not developing a product first and then pushing into the market. Like the whole thing of the product is developed and then you are pushing into the market. That is not going to help. For example, there is a team of people, they are developing an application. They took 1 year to develop a product without understanding or without even asking people what are their problems currently. And after 1 year, they push that product to the market. Till that time, there might be 100 different problems that have come, and your product is not able to cater to all those problems. It is only catering to one problem which it has identified 1 year ago, right? So that kind of product development or product design that comes to market is not at all usable. That is where design thinking comes into place, where the first step is always you first take the surveys from people, from end user. You try to understand what exactly is happening and what they want. After understanding that, you ideate, you develop a prototype, and then you test it in the market. So that will be your version 1 of the product. And as soon as you test, you will get some kind of feedbacks from them. And as you get feedbacks, you again go to the same process, empathize, where you understand more detail into the feedbacks. For example, if in an app you have just now published in Google Play, right? People give feedbacks to you in the version 1 of that app. Then once you get the feedbacks, you try to understand more on what those feedbacks mean, or how is it going to improve the feature of your product. And again, the same thing, defining, ideating, prototyping, and again testing the version 2 of that application. So it's a never ending process, because nowadays the market is only about user and how you can satisfy your users need. Many of you might be wanting to open a startup. Many of you might have already, be involving in startup. Many of our friends are working in startups. So in startup, this design thinking is going to help a lot, because in order to start a startup, you first, what you do, you understand, right, what is the need of the hour. Because nowadays, if you talk to anyone, people say that I want to work for the people, I want to develop something which my society uses, or it's of help to them. So that is where the first point of design thinking helps a lot. You empathize, you try to understand that how people, need certain features or certain applications. One example I can give you about the need of the hour thing is, when we were having this COVID-19 lockdown in 2020. Suddenly in Bangalore, the storage areas, many people were opening their startups, and a lot of storage areas were built. When I say storage areas, it's because we were leaving our apartments, because of course it was costing a lot more than 15K every month if you are not staying there, and if you don't know that when are you returning from your home, because it's a COVID lockdown and you never know when the lockdown is going to uplift, right? So in that case, people will always want to leave their apartment, but again they had the headache of where to keep their things with. Many people had furniture, even I had a lot of furnitures. Now just think about it, we knew that, okay, we are having a lockdown. I am not going to find anyone who is going to buy the products that I have immediately, and I'm going to be stranded in Bangalore just for the sake of my furniture. I can just throw it out outside, right? So that time, Bangalorean, what they have done, many people have started the startups of storage. One example is of safe storage also. There's one company called as Safe Storage. So their business boomed. Why? Because at that time, they understood that what is the pain point of the people at that moment. They understood that, okay, people need a storage where they can keep the furnitures there, and it will be a very minimum rent for them, maybe $1,000 per month. So everyone will opt for it, right? Giving 15K when you are not staying in an apartment, uh, it's better to give 1K where you can keep all the furnitures in the storage, and then you can move out. You can just go to your place, and then when all the lockdowns and all becomes normal, you can come back and you will still have your furniture and other items intact, and you just the duty would be, you just have to search a new flat and move there, right? So that is where your design thinking has come into place recently. Now there is one more example in design thinking, like a real-time example, I must say. So in many countries, if you see, especially in the countries where there are a lot of snowfalls in winter, children die in extreme winter. They lose their life because of an illness called as hypothermia. If many of you, I think, know, it is usually happens in very cold countries. And so people who are rich, people who have a lot of money, or people who are staying in city or towns, they can bring their children immediately to the hospital, and they can provide all the incubators and all to them. Because in those countries, just after a baby is born, they are kept in incubators because it's very cold and freezing cold, and children die, as I said. So for people who have money in their pockets, and for people who are nearby, they can always avail those privileges which is being provided in the hospitals, like incubators and all. But when we talk about people who are living far away from the town or the city or the hospitals, right? People who have less money in their pocket, what about them? Their children used to die. Their children used to die because of that freezing cold, and they couldn't come to the hospital. Why? It's not about the money only. It's because the roads were totally blocked by the snow and all, because it's a huge lot of snowfall over there. So in that case, their children used to die. So when Stanford Design School, they try to figure the problem out. They use this design thinking there. What they did is they started doing surveys with the people, with the mothers of the children, with the family whose children died, or normal families, right, who is going to start a children start family. And even they started doing surveys with your hospital staffs. They started doing this surveys with the nurses and all, to understand that what is the problem, what exactly is happening, why people are not coming to the hospital to take advantage of the incubators which are in place. So that way they understood what are the problems that they are having, the common people are having, and why they are not able to avail the privilege that has been provided to them. And then they did the second step. They defined it. So after getting maybe 100 surveys, they figured out what is the problem in 5 or 6 lines. That, okay, this is the problem. These are the clear-cut problems that they are facing, due to which they are not using the incubators and their children are dying. Now they started ideating. So what they started generating different ideas, that how can, these things um, be resolved. So they started thinking about, uh, what if this incubators can be given as free offering to the people who can't buy it, who can't afford it. Second is, in the time of snowfall, there might be no electricity in many areas, right? So can we build an incubator, or that kind of thing which can work without electricity, right? Maybe in a battery system or anything of that sort. And also, since people are staying far away, why not we try to create something which is lightweight or portable, which people can carry from here and there, despite of whatever distance it is, and whatever weather or condition it is, they can always carry their babies in those incubator kind of things. So they did a lot of ideating over that area. And after ideating, they came with various prototypes. And I say prototypes, they came with different minimum viable products, like testing models. They created incubator kind of stuffs, and they started trying it with the babies of the hospital. Okay. And that is where this test thing came. And after they were testing it, and they had given few of the samples to various family, and they got the feedbacks, and it was positive. So if that was developed by the Stanford College, and that product is called as Embrace. It is a heating bag kind of thing, sleeping bag for children, but it will be heated most of the time, so your children doesn't die out of freezing cold. So that was one of the successful product where your design thinking came into place. And that is something that was, initiated in the first, to apply design thinking into your practical life. So I hope you people understood what the concept is all about. There are few design thinking examples that you can see in your day-to-day life, in the applications that you use. One of the most impactful application that has been using design thinking is Netflix. So I think you all know how Netflix started, right? So earlier, when this OTT platforms were not there, even all this internet streaming things were not there, people used to go to shops and buy DVDs from the outlets, right? And buying or renting, they used to rent out the DVDs. Renting is okay, but again, the pain point of the end user was, after watching that movie, they had to return that DVD back to the shop. And it's not of 2000 or something, okay, it's of 1990s, something, that kind of era that I'm talking about. And so again, they used, what Netflix did was, Netflix used the design thinking concept. It tried to understand this one, empathize, right? It tried to empathize with the user, that what are your pain points. So what they understood is, people were ready to rent out the DVDs from the stores, but while dropping it or returning it back to the shop, it was a pain point for them. They didn't want to do it. It was like, okay, we have watched the movie, now again we have to go to the shop. So due to that, what Netflix started was making use of the situation, Netflix started delivering this DVDs to customer homes with a subscription model. So what would happen after the subscription would end? They would come and collect it. Okay. So that was the thing that they made use of, and at that time it was a big change. And then Netflix was blooming at that time. But then slowly, again due to this all design thinking concept, again Netflix tried to understand what are the challenges in the society now, or in the country, or in the world now. So they got to understand that okay, DVD thing was fine. After a few years, now they understood that this DVD thing is getting outdated. So they came with this platform where it was streaming all the movies in their Netflix platform, OTT platform, that we all are aware of. And then it had earned a lot of money, a lot of revenue from that. And slowly again, after some years, again what it understood as part of that okay, people are bored with the same stuff that you show on TV, or that is already available in TV. So why will they pay something to us when they can wait for a month to see the same stuff on TV? So again, it came with a concept of having their own content. I think you must have seen this Netflix original contents and all, right? And it's very nice series and movies that is available. Many of you must be watching it. So that's way that is how Netflix has used the design thinking process. And when I say design thinking, it's not a single time, one time process. Okay, it's an ongoing thing. That's what I'm trying to understand, trying to explain to you. That what Netflix did was every 1 or 2 years they are continuously researching on what is the market demand, what is the demand of the users, and what is their pain points. It's not like okay, I have delivered one product to the market, now I'll be setting it quiet and then my business will grow. It doesn't happen that way. You have to keep on doing the market research. You have to keep on understand and take feedbacks from the people for your application, or for whatever you have developed and pushed it to the market. You can't just sit back and relax. If you want your application, if you want your company to grow, you need to embrace the change. You need to keep moving with the change. So not only Netflix, now I have put on another examples of Uber, Airbnb, Nike, IBM. So these are a few of the companies that use design thinking, and that too consistently. And that's why these companies are where they are currently, because they started with very small thing and now they are just booming like anything. So yeah, that was about the basics of design thinking. Now this will be my last slide. So I'll try to relate this design thinking with this two fields very quickly, because now you understood what design thinking is. So when I was talking about business analysis, right, where we understand the pain point of users and all, and then take the requirements and get it developed by the application developer, this is where design thinking also comes into place. Why? Because then business analysis is all about taking feedbacks and developing a product. But what design thinking makes a difference is because it makes it an iterative approach. So for the product to be built as a business analyst, of course, the primary work of a business analyst is to understand the feedback, take it and write it down, and go to your developers, tell them what has to be developed, and then push it to the market. But what design thinking tells is, don't sit after that. You again take the feedback of the product that was delivered to the market. Again, as a business analyst, you take that feedback. Again, you try to understand what are the pain points, and then you write the documents, then you write the requirements of the user. You go back to your IT team, your software developers, and again get it built, a new feature. Just like in Facebook, in WhatsApp, every month or maybe every 2 months we get some new feature or update, right? So a business analyst in that point, they will also keep on doing that iterative thing because of the design thinking concept. They will not going to sit back and say that okay, my product is delivered to the market, I'm done. No, that doesn't happen. And when I say about data visualization also, here design thinking makes a great impact, because okay, you are given a data, you can create visuals as you want. Okay, you have been given a requirement. A business analyst give requirement to a data visualization engineer saying that, see, our users want to see a report where they want to create a graph which are having months in the x-axis and the growth in the y-axis, so that they can see what is the growth over the months. A data visualization engineer can choose any visuals to show it, a normal xy axis and a normal line chart they can use, but they can use some other interesting custom visuals which are available in Power BI and Tableau as well, right? So in design thinking, a data visualization engineer should try to understand how a user's mind works, because data can be interpreted in various type of visuals, but which visual is going to impact that user the most and how it is going to be more interactive, that they have to understand by talking to the user, by understanding that okay, this is the visual that they are most fascinated with. So a data visualization engineer, when they try to inculcate design thinking, then the quality of the data visuals or the dashboard that they create is much better than what they do it by themselves, just thinking that okay, I think a table should work or a line chart should work. No, you need to understand what works for the users. So this design thinking concept is not limited to business analysis or data visualization. As a normal software developer, solution architect, anywhere this design thinking makes a great impact, because it tells you that keep on researching the market, keep on researching what the user needs, come with the idea, create a prototype, and push it to the market. The MVP product, you push it to the market, and then see the response of the user. Once you get the feedback, you put that feedback into your product, you again develop it, you again push the updated product to the market. So that's how you are continuously thinking of the user needs, and you are continuously providing the best product to your users. So as an application developer, you will be happy that your product is being used by the user. As a product owner or a product manager who would be owning that product, they would be happy that okay, our product is being used by the people, and and the overall community who is behind that application, the revenue is going to increase. And then what's more than your application being used by everyone in the country, everyone in the world, or most of the audiences. I think that is why we build the product for, right, not only for us but for the end users. That's how you create the revenues as well. So yeah, I think that's how your business, this design thinking impacts the business analysis and the data visualization field. And that's where I would like to stop. I'd like to go ahead with if anyone has questions or anything. I think I spoke a lot.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for sharing your valuable time, experience, and knowledge with us. Starting with the question and answer session, I would now request the audience to clear up their queries and satisfy their curiosity by asking any doubts or questions they have in their minds, or can even drop it in the chat box. There is a question I would like to ask, ma'am.
Okay, yeah.
Can the technology grow to such an extent that the tasks that we humans perform as data analysts or data scientists can be taken up by AI? And if so, then is there any risk?
There are certain field of task which can be taken up by AI, but there are something which can never be taken up by AI. So first, I'd like to tell you which are the tasks which can be taken up by AI and which can't. So currently I was talking about design thinking, right? And we were talking about empathy, empathizing. Your AI can't empathize with people. Your AI will do what you have told it to do. You can tell that okay, my app should work this way and it will work that way itself. But as human being, we have the tendency to empathize with people. We understand what is needed in the market and we develop it that way. But using AI, though it would be easy thing, it will be an automated process, but I don't think AI will ever be able to replace human mind. And if it's replacing also in the long term, it's going to be a bit destructive, I must say. Why? Because AI does what it is asked to do. Now you have asked, you have written a code for, you have written a code to achieve something or some kind of stuffs in your work area. Now the AI kind of, it is kind of practice, in coding also. I think you people know about the robotics area and all. So it's kind of certain practice. Once you write the code and provide it to them, it also can replicate that. And if you're as an AI, if it tries to replicate what you are doing, it can replicate the same thing against you also. So that is a risk, but AI can never replace what as a human being people do. Yeah, there might be advantages that using AI, the chance of data quality issues or data mistakes might be minimal, but empathizing and understanding your surroundings and then building a product, that is not that AI can do. There will still be many roles which AI can't fulfill. They might be able to do the coding thing, but they might not be able to understand what people need and what they have to develop according to their need.
Thank you
Somebody,
very much, ma'am.
yeah, I think somebody has a
Ma'am, there is a
question.
question in the chat box.
Yeah, what are the
Yes, ma'am. It's by
skills?
Mohit Joshi,
Yeah, I can
and
see
he
it.
asked that what are the skills required to be a business analyst, and what should we do to develop those skills?
Okay, to become a business analyst, the first thing that you have to develop is your analytical skills. So whenever you see a product, I'll come to the technical skills, but just telling you the overall skills which will help you to become a better business analyst is, whenever you see an application, whenever you see something, you try to understand what it is trying to serve. Okay, what is the bigger problem that it is trying to reach out to. First you try to understand that. Post that, you see that, okay, what are the features that it has put into. So business analysis mind is always about questions and curiosity, and for making a change in the type of work you do. So for example, you see an app, you download an app from your Google Play, and you check that app, but your mind is so curious and it is very inquisitive, and you try to understand that, okay, this app has this thing, but why not this feature? You always try to question that. Or you see that, okay, we are user of Facebook app, right? You try to see that what is not there, or what do you want to add in that app. So that way you are trying to hone the skill of questioning and thinking that what is not there in something, and you can bring a change in that app to make it more usable for the users like us. For any user who is trying to using Facebook, you can check that, okay, this is the feature which is the need of the hour, but it's still not there. So you need to have that kind of mind in the first place. When I say about technical skills, you need to be very good. One is the data analysis thing should be good with you. Okay, and you need to learn few technologies. You should be good with any of the SQL tools that is there in the market. Please try to learn Microsoft Power BI or Tableau or anything. It is very much needed, because if you go with any organization, even as a BA or a data analyst, they will be expecting you to know those technologies. And also Python or R is something that is in demand. So please learn these things, because it will help you to analyze the data. And if you analyze the data, you will understand that how it relates to your organizational value and how it is impacting the business of your organization. So these are the few things that you can learn. And always, business analysis is not something that you sit and develop something. It is a mentality. So you have to make your mind in such a way that you have a lot of questions, and always your mind should be working. Whenever it sees a product, you need to start thinking that, okay, this product is like this, okay, these have this features, okay, what problem it might have been created to solve, and what are the still lagging points in here which you can think of. So you need to have that kind of mind, and you need to have a strategic mind as well, that, okay, if I'm going to add this feature to this product, what help it is going to have, and is there any other organization which is having the same kind of feature, and how it is helping them, and what are the disadvantages of having those features in that application. So always have your brain moving, and always keep yourself updated to the market, that I would say. Understand what are the things coming in market and what still are not there, so that those features can be added in any of the products that will be going live going ahead. And in your first year, so in first year, I think it is mostly all the general subjects that you study. So you don't need to study something specific, but the tools that I told you, and either the languages that I told you, right, Python or R, you can start learning those. And Microsoft Power BI, Python, and R, these three things you can start learning. And you can go for LinkedIn courses. There are many LinkedIn courses on business analysis or foundations of business analysis. They will teach you, or they will help you to see the product or anything with a business analyst mind. A normal mind and a business analyst mind, I'll like to say, is a bit different. A normal people doesn't question or see that much of detail in any product that is there. But if you have a business analyst mind, then you can see a pain point of in each and everything. You have a product, you see that, "Arey, ye kyun nahi hai isme?" That kind of thing, or why this is not there, this should have been there, and this should have this feature. So it's, you need to develop that BA mindset, and then I think it can open many paths for you. Any more questions? And yeah, there are many industry relevant certifications, but not for the first year. Once you complete your college, maybe there are many certifications. So currently, I'm a member of International Institute of Business Analysis. So they provide a lot of certifications which are industry relevant, and even going for interviews. If you are appearing for interview in a good company, they search for it, or they prefer those candidates who have those certifications. But that is not the only thing that is looked upon, but that's a plus point. There are certifications called as CCBA, CBAP. All the certifications are provided by IIBA Institute that can be helpful to people who want to go into this field. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunity. I think keep learning, and Coursera and LinkedIn provides the best courses if somebody wants to dig in this into this skill set. But yeah, my personal experience and a suggestion would be, you watch videos, you can watch videos from anywhere that you want, but until and unless you don't change your mindset and start seeing things through that way, that's not going to change. Okay, people going and then checking the sessions or certification videos or trainings, they do it and then they forget it. That should not be done. They should be made in like they should be used practically. If not, like currently you are in college, so you might not get any like organizational project or something, but in your day-to-day life also, please try to inculcate those mindset, so that will help you in the long run.
Ma'am, for those who do not like coding, I assume that business analysts require no coding skills. So, am I correct?
Yeah, it doesn't require coding skills, but if you have a coding skill, if you are going from software developer, still you can go into business analyst. But if somebody doesn't have coding skill, then also you can go into that line. But it's better to have a function technical background. At least you should know that which technology works how. And it is not a must, but again, according to my like personal experience, since I had coding experience and the technical background, so it was very helpful for me to make decisions. So if you're trying to chat with your users and understand what they want and trying to give them solutions, if you have a bit idea on what your team can do using the technologies that is provided to them, you can suggest them better and feasible ideas, right? Otherwise, what will happen? You will tell them that, okay, I'll get back to you. And then you will take 4 days and then discuss with the developers and go back to them. But if you already have a bit of technical thing and if you have the experience, then it's easy, of course, because then you can take the decision then and there that, okay, this is possible and this is not possible. It is much faster. But somebody who wants to come into BA role, then yeah, if you don't have any technical skills also, it's fine to start with, because many organizations are there who will take you as a functional business analyst. I am a techno functional, so in my place I need both technical and functional knowledge. But there are functional business analysts where you might not have a coding knowledge, but still you will do great in those fields. Does that answer your query, Priyanka?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But see, you all are into EC, right? I mean, you would know that you would know some kind of technical stuff. In this 4 years, you will have to deal with it, even if you don't like it. So better you use that skills in the area of business analysis if you get a chance to join as a business analyst in the future. Because in EC, I don't think anybody will be able to skip the part. You'll have to complete 4 years and pass your college, right? So better do it in a proper way. Give your full um, give your full ability to complete that. Take interest in stuffs. Maybe now you will think that I'm studying this, that, but at some point of time you will be able to relate. Me also as a business analyst, I might not be using directly coding things, but I can relate few things that I have studied, so I can join the pinpoints. So that's where it helps. So please don't ignore your course. Please do it properly. It is going to help you all in the long run, wherever you go, whichever role you take. Nowadays, even managers are expected to have some kind of technical background or knowledge. So always be technically efficient and technically sound, no matter if you're going into management, no matter you're going wherever. Technology never leaves us behind. It is going to be there forever. So if you know technology, you won't sound dumb, in meetings. So you better be technically sound. Okay, there is a question from Harsh. I think, what is the difference between data analyst and business analyst? So yeah, data analyst is someone who just analyzes the data. Data will get to them. They will see each and every data point. They will try to create relationships, and they will create data models. Okay, so they will analyze the whole data. When I say business analysis, in business analysis, data analysis is a subpart. Business is a bigger umbrella. So for an organization to succeed, the business should run well. Now, how business is going to run well, it is depending on the data, right? If I want to understand business, I need to understand it through some information. This information is called as data. Now, a data analyst will be using more, they are more into the technical stuffs. They won't get into meetings with stakeholders or those sort. So as I said, data analyst is a subset of business analyst. Nowadays business analyst is expected to do data analysis also. That's why I said you need to learn Python, R, and this Microsoft Power BI and all, because you should be able to understand data. You should know what are the relationship between different data points, and then you take that insight and you go to the business or the users and say that, okay, these are the things that is available with us. What are the new things that you want? So under business analysis umbrella, data analysis is one of the part. So that is what the difference is. Both are interconnected.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, I have a question that what distinguishes design thinking from project-based learning?
Process-based learning, is it?
Project-based learning.
Project-based learning. Okay. But see, design thinking is a concept. It is when you say project-based learning, can you elaborate what exactly you mean by project-based learning? I've heard about process-based learning.
Ma'am, like in internships, we
Mm-hmm.
work upon some projects to deal with, and like in placement, we got some placement in any
Mm-hmm.
company, and then we have to work with project-based things. But how this thing distinguishes with design thinking?
design thinking is a part of it. So when you are working as an intern, you usually try to create a MVP, right, Sarika? You try to create
Yes,
a
ma'am.
minimum viable product. So you work on something, you do a POC kind of thing, proof of concept, to see that, okay, let's build this item for a testing purpose. And if you see design thinking, creating prototype is one of the component of design thinking. So when you're going for this project-based learning, what you are doing is you are working under someone, you are creating the projects. Those projects are the prototypes which will be sent for testing. And in design thinking, that is one of the component. So design thinking is a concept which is being used everywhere. Project-based learning is, that is a kind of, what I should say, um, design thinking comes as a concept in your project-based learning. So if you are going for an internship, so how many of you have gone for internships? There are any people in third year here, or everyone is in first year currently?
Ma'am, maximum are from first year itself.
Okay, okay. So in your internship, you will create the POCs or the MVPs, which is a part of design thinking concept, Sarika. So those two are not separate, but the concept of design thinking, uh, it comes in your project-based learning. So it is one of the examples of design thinking. Am I clear?
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Any more questions? Okay, I think people now will go and search about design thinking and what they can do on it. Huh?
As time has bound us once again, we could not take any more questions today. But your answers are still awaiting for you. All you need to do is send an email, contact Team Anuvrat, or can directly contact ma'am in LinkedIn. Concluding today's event, I would like to thank you, ma'am, once again for your kind gesture and taking out time from your busy schedule, enlightening us by sharing your knowledge. Also, I would like to thank you all for joining us today. We'll see you again in the next episode of Vimrishyotsava 2.0 coming soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Priyanka. Thank you all for joining. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.